So here's a review coming right at a late field, but you know what? Better late than never, am I right? Yep, that's right. It's Bat-Mite number 2. Let's hop on in and see what happens next, shall we? As we dig on into the comic, poor Bat-Mite and Hawkman are still the prisoners of Doc Trauma, the evil lady scientist who wants to take her old brain and put it in the body of Hawkman. Poor Hawkman has not been seeing a lot of good days the last little while, a fact in which Bat-Mite even jokes about, saying, you know what, if you did have your body stolen, it would probably still be the most interesting thing that's happened to you in a long, long while. But before he helps Hawkman, Bat-Mite decides that, you know, he should help him out with his look, maybe get him a little bit more popular. We get a lovely panel that we also saw on the cover, where they go over all the different looks Hawkman has had throughout history. Bat-Mite even thinks to himself for a second, you know, maybe I should make you look more like Batman. It's done wonders for me after all. Instead, he decides to just give him a grim and gritty look with tattoos, because, I mean, after all, that's the hot new look. That's in absolutely everywhere, am I right? The bad guys do not take kindly to this. They gas Bat-Mite and decide that they should end up drowning him. But they forget the simple fact that he is a fourth-dimensional being and as such has damn near godlike powers. It's because that he comes out of the water as the Dark Bat-Mite who has returned. Oh, Frank Miller jokes, they never get old, do they? Bat-Mite is then forced to fight Trauma in Hawkman's body, a fight that he only ends up winning because he's able to turn her tranks against her. It's with that he's able to force Agnes, the doctor's assistant, to turn him back to normal, which he said is impossible, but then he works some of that fourth world magic, and suddenly it all ends up being very, very possible. Hawkman lets all the other prisoners out. They wrongly decide that he's the true hero of the day and celebrate him while forgetting Mite. But you know what, don't feel bad for old Mite because there is a silver lining. 2 of the people he did save end up being grateful and decide to let him crash with him while he's here in this dimension. And it's a good thing too, because as the comic ends, we discover that Bat-Mite has caught the ire of a brand new supervillain calling himself Gridlock. Bat-Mite number 2, late though I may be to this party, keeps a lot of the humor and charm that made me really like the first issue. It's a totally self-aware comic and that's pretty cool, but it resists the urge to break the fourth wall like, say, a Deadpool comic would do. Mite himself is something of a lovable loser. There's a lot of good-natured laughs to be had here. Overall, I highly recommend this one. If you want something a little funny or something off the beaten path, this would definitely be the comic for you. It's one that uses the whole creativity over continuity thing to a great effect. Overall, I give this one a very positive 8.